Okay, what's up, my people? How are you? Something I was thinking about today. Well, actually, I was thinking about a lot today. But one of the things I thought about that I'd like to share that was very tangible in my mind and powerful, and something that I just thought about not too long ago that could also be of assistance to myself and other people is, as spiritual people or as people who actively look to manage their thoughts, actively, or whether maybe you don't, maybe you're new to the practice of thinking about your thinking, shifting your thoughts, shifting your emotions to a peaceful place. However you do that, whether it's some form of yoga, meditation, we know that the ways in which to do these kind of things is ad infinitum. But something that tends to happen with a lot of us over time is we get somewhat obsessed over trying to be happy. So we have a lot of positive messages we put out. And I know this is something that happens to me at times where I'm showing others. It's like I basically want to be that shining example as much as I can to other people because I have learned techniques that I've become fairly decent at. We're always learning. And so, there's a part of me that always feels like, I should be that alignment example for other people. But the fact is, we know life isn't like that in terms of being happy all the time. Nobody's happy all the time. Everyone is going through something at some point in their life. And that is part of how we grow. It is, in a sense, a necessity of life to go through things. And so we shouldn't feel bad about feeling bad. And that is really the backbone of this message. Something that came to me while I was at the gym, while I was working out, a way to think about this, a way to conceptualize whenever you're going through whatever issue it is that is involved, whether it's a relationship problem, money, job, health, whatever it is, whatever is making you feel bad about feeling bad. Something that came to me in a way to see it as if, when someone reemerges into non-physical or however you see it, dies, passes away, there's a grieving process. Some people get over grieving immensely fast. Some people grieve for a week, and it's like, and that's way not the norm. I think the norm is some people grieve sometimes a couple years when it comes to people like parents or a close family member. It's different for everyone, but to judge yourself over that kind of grieving is kind of ridiculous. We allow ourselves to grieve more in cases like that. But then when it comes to the case of someone where we're having an issue and they're living, well, now we do all this condemnation of ourselves. Now we should know better. Now we should be better people. We should be more understanding or more compassionate or more in tune with ourselves and not allow those things to affect us. And so we do all this beating up of ourselves when it comes to the interaction of those who are living. But as soon as they reemerge, now we allow more forgiveness for ourselves and for that person. Just as the person reemerges, many times then it's hard to hold on to that negativity that they placed upon you. So perhaps then in a sense it's hard for you to hold any negativity within yourself dealing with that person because you only want to think of the positive of that person. But if it's somebody who can still engage within your life physically, then you judge yourself harshly. And I think in both instances, whether someone's reemerged or still has the ability to shake your hand, you should still look at these situations with not so much attachment. I mean, this is really what attachment and detachment is all about. How to truly detach from a situation. You allow it to be. You allow it. It's not about getting rid of the emotion, is not about actually trying to erase it with a number 2 pencil out of your mind. It's more about relaxing, and from the relaxed state, you start to shift into something that feels better. So, it's like how Abraham would talk about what's more important is the disc rather than the subject. That's the metaphor they use. The disc, you could say, is like a disc, a music soundtrack, okay? The soundtrack of your thoughts. So if you have the soundtrack of your thoughts, whatever they may be around a certain subject, that's what you have going on, no matter what. That soundtrack is what's going to attract other things into your life based on the disc you have going on. But what they're saying is the subject matter isn't as important as the disc. So many times we have to stop trying to clear so much of the subject. Matter of fact, we can't clear the subject if we don't have the proper disc. And so many of us are trying to feel better, and we're still in a place of stress and anguish and feeling not loved, feeling not worthy of love, which is some of the deeper things we go through. And so as long as we're in that disc, if that's the main vibration we have going on, I'm not loved, I'm not worthy, those are really a lot of times at the root of everything we go through that gives us stress. As long as we have that disc going on, we can't get to the answer. So we literally have to place a new disc. We have to change our whole thought pattern into something that makes us feel good. And many times in order to do that, we have to totally change our mind about what we're thinking about. We can't even get on that topic that's bothering us. We have to totally change, get into something that makes us feel good, something that is conceivable, something that we can latch on to quite easily. And this is what allows us to get into the raising of vibration. So I'm going to speak more about that, but thoughts of the day. All right. Peace.